So today here we have to look at the MATLAB session, and we have now the theoretical background. We have studied the different kinds of financial markets, financial instruments, just introduction, and the details of the present value and the future value of the securities and the bond yield, the application of the time value of money in the annuity calculation and the EMI calculation. Now we need to apply it practically with the practical data. And now today we see how to handle the spreadsheet, means Excel files or CSV files that are very common in handling the data, because now you operate with data, so that is very common, and it is just a part of the data science. You have to handle this spreadsheet, right? So handling spreadsheet, table data, and matrix data in MATLAB. So let we see how to handle all these things inside the MATLAB, because we are using MATLAB as the development tool. So today we understand the array, cell array, and table. So array we all know in MATLAB, because basic variable in MATLAB is an array. Then we study what is a cell array and what is the table. So table is also one kind of structure in the MATLAB. So you need some concept of the structure. Also, you need to know some concept of object oriented programming, the dot operator and other things, right? So we see how to read and write data in spreadsheet using MATLAB. So data are usually stored in the spreadsheet files like Excel file, .xls extension, right? So how to read it in a MATLAB and how to write data from MATLAB into this spreadsheet. So we have certain MATLAB functions available for this. So today we see some of these functions I have listed in this document. I hope my document is properly visible. If it is not, just tell me. I'm going little bit quickly because I was 15 minutes late due to setting. So the function is XLS write. It is write Microsoft Excel spreadsheet file. So something from MATLAB. So if you have some data in MATLAB in some variable, you can write that matrix data of variable into the Excel file. Then we are using XLS read. So we read the Excel spreadsheet file into the MATLAB. So we read it in some variable, also in some table, and then later on the columns or row data of that Excel spreadsheet we can utilize in the MATLAB for processing. Then we have a one function called table. So that created table from workspace variable. So we have to frequently use these tables in this subject, right? So we always use with the tabular data. So we can create a table from workspace variable. Hope you recall what is workspace variable. So workspace variable means they are MATLAB variable. They are matrix or vectors, maybe scalar. OK. Then we have a read table function. So that is create table from file. So directly from Excel file, we can create a table in the MATLAB. Write table. So if you have a table in MATLAB, we can write it into the Excel file or any other file that is supported by MATLAB. Then we have other functions like import data. Right now we are not use it because this is sufficient. This read table, write table, table function, Excel read, Excel write, they are sufficient for us. Then other two functions are load and save. So this load is load variables from file into workspace, and save is to save workspace variable to file. So here using this save function, the workspace variable, which are the MATLAB variables, scalar variable, vector variable or matrix variable, they can be saved into a special file called .mat file. It is called matrix file. It is not a Excel file. It is a matrix file. It is supported by MATLAB only. So if you want to open this file in MATLAB only, then we can save some variables into that kind of .mat file. So we will see how to save workspace variable into .mat file. And if we have a .mat file available, we can load variables from that file into workspace. You can also use .text file, but we use the .mat file. OK. And then date utility, it returns a string of today's date. And then there are so many other functions in financial toolbox that we see later on related to date, but today itself. So I hope this part is very much clear. Let we go to MATLAB and see something with the example. Let me first understand the array, cell, array, table, then read and write of the Excel, save and load function to save into mat file and to load from the mat file. Then we see a table to create a table, read a table, and write a table, right? So this all are very important thing. OK. So if any question still, or shall I move ahead? I will share this document with you. This is just a tutorial. which I got from the help of the MATLAB. Otherwise, you can refer to the help document of the MATLAB. Any doubt so far? All right. So I hope I can move it further. So let I go to MATLAB. This is my MATLAB online login. So yeah, you better know, suppose you have variable say A, and in square bracket when you write 1, 2, 3, say 4, 5, 6, then semicolon 8, 9, 0 like this. So what you get? Now bear with MATLAB, it takes some time. OK, so you get here this 3 cross 3 matrix, right? This is a matrix variable. OK, it is a MATLAB variable, and you can see this is a workspace. So they are created in workspace. So you can recall this from our previous discussion in DSP subject, right? How to use MATLAB. And we need all this background. So you can see it is a 3 cross 3 matrix. By default, the data type of these variables are double precision. So we need not to worry about the precision in the MATLAB. That's why it is very powerful. If I write this B equal to 1 colon 10, then it creates a vector. It creates a row vector from 1 to 10, right? Values from 1 to 10 with increment of 1. So it's a 1 cross 10. You can see it's a row vector. I can create a column vector by writing say C is equal to B dash. So that is a transpose of B. So you can see it's a column vector. So these all are ABC. These are MATLAB variable. Like you can create a scalar variable, like say D equal to 3.05. So that's all right. So this is a scalar. So scalar vector, which may be row matrix, column matrix, or matrix, right? So that these are matrix variable or array variable in the MATLAB. The index always start with 1 in MATLAB, right? In C, it may start with 0. It is started with 0. But in MATLAB, the indexing means the first element of this C of 1, you can say it is 1, right? So the indexing is always started with 1. In case of your Turbo C or C language, it started with 0. It start with 0. While here it is start with 1. So that's difference should be remembered always. So not confused with it. OK, I have created matrix variable A. So if I type A2 comma 3, so I get what is in a second row, third column, right? So that's there. In case of the it is 6, you can see that is 6, second row, third column, right? So this all you have recalled. Now we are interested in other types of variable that are useful in our financial analysis, and that is called the cell variable or cell type of array. So what is cell? It is array of array. So different kinds of data are merged in the cell. So let I take one example that I have in my document. Say my capital C is my C variable. Let I type it in the MATLAB, so I will not waste my time. And you can see is capital C. And now MATLAB, it is a case sensitive. So small c and capital C, these two are different variable. Now this cell data is written within curly bracket, not in a square bracket. So see, matrix or vector data we are writing in a square bracket, while the cell data are written within the curly bracket. So that's the difference. Now here you can see the first data is 5, which is integer. Then we have some string, right, in the single quote. Then again we have 110, then C plus, then semicolon. So it indicates the change of the row, then 12, then pizza, then 140B. This 3 dot indicates we begin, we continue this statement in the next line. So when you want to type, you want to continue the things in the next line, you type 3 dots. OK, then 23 salmon 367 A is again a character, and then semicolon. So many different kinds of things are there. Let me see what happens. And if I press enter, what it is creating. Now see, in a workspace, it has created a 4 cross 4 cell array. Now see, cell is an array of array. It is a cell. You can see it is within this curly brackets. And first of all, first element was 5. So you can see this is actually a single element array. It is in a square bracket, right? Then this is array of 5 character or whatever 6 characters, cell, right? So that is there. This is the second element of this cell array, but it itself contains the 6 different characters, right? it itself contains the 6 different characters. Then 110, right, is the third element. Similarly, C plus, it may contains variable number of elements inside every curly bracket, you can see, and so on. And we have such 4 cross 4 array. Why? Because this is my first row of this cell array, second row, third row, and the fourth row. Okay. And you can also see in a workspace, whenever we have created matrix variable, it is having this symbol like this square, and then inside there is a plus. While a char array, you can see inside this is a curly bracket. Also, you can see a small c and capital C are different variable, and this is indicated as a 4 cross 4 cell, right? While this is a 3 cross 3 only matrix. It's a simple array, while char is an array of arrays. So I hope you understood what is cell. Okay. Also, if I double click on it, see, I can get here the complete picture of this table or cell. You can see this is 4 cross 4. We need to now work with tables with data, so we frequently use this kind of things. So you can see the first element is 5, second is this, third is this. Now in each, you can see, right? So in first there is some integer value, second some string, third again some value, in fourth again some character, so likewise. So it's a different kinds of data are there in this, while in case of the array we have the same kind of data, integer or float or only characters, right? So this is a cell, mixed kind of data is there. So I hope you understand this. Then now let me see how to create a table from workspace variable. Now this cell and table again are different. Okay, remember the table is one step ahead of this cell. Okay, from the variable we can create a cell, and from this cell or variable we can create a table, right? So don't confuse with cell and table. Cell looks like a table, but table is one step above the cell. So let me define some workspace variable with same number of rows. So here I have defined some workspace variables. Some are cell, some are array only. So you can see this last name equal to, you can see in a curly bracket, I have a cell variable. So it's a array of arrays. Smith, Johnson, Williams, these are named, and semicolon indicates the next row. Okay, so it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it has a 5 row. Okay, it has 5 row, and in each row there are single element, we can say, even though it is an array of different characters. Okay, then age is simple matrix. Okay, you can see it is like this, or vector 38, 43 is a column vector. Then height is again a column vector, weight is again a column vector. Blood pressure, you can see it's a having 2 elements in one row, upper and lower blood pressure, upper and lower, upper and lower, upper and lower, and likewise. So let I type this in my MATLAB and create these variables in my MATLAB. So I copy paste it on the, let I minimize it, press enter. It takes some time. So these all variables are created inside my workspace. OK, now I want to create a table. So for that, I need to use this function. You can see capital T is name of the table is equal to table from, you can see age, height, weight, blood pressure, then 3 dot means we continue in a next line, and row names is one. You can say property of this table, whatever in a single quote is a property of this table. I will tell you in a detail help what are the other properties, and last name. These row names are assigned with this last name, which are given in this cell array. So we just right now type it and then we see what happens, so we can better understand, and then we see a detailed help of this table. So now you can see what it has created. A 5 cross 4 table. Why? Because 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So you can see 1, 2, 3, actually 4, but blood pressure contains the 2 row. So you can see, and then the row names are assigned. The row names are assigned according to the content of this cell, which is last name. You can see the last name. The last name is cell. You can see that is created inside this workspace, right? And then T is a table. Now you can see here in workspace, the symbol for this T is again different. You can see it's a square, then inside it there is a label for row and label for column and some square boxes, right? So it's a table. So remember the difference in the array, the cell and the table. Okay, this is 5 cross 4 table. This is 5 cross 4 table, and it has the title. This is the title. You can see age, height, weight, blood pressure. So whatever you type here, these are the titles, and then this is the property row names. So you can assign the names to the row. So whatever be the row that you are creating, that are assigned this name, and whatever be the under age, these are column vectors, height, weight, blood pressure, these are under this head. Okay, so this is the title for column. Okay, this is the name for row, and we have created this table. If I double click on this T, and you can see the detailed content will open here, and you can visualize like this. Now see what is difference between cell and table. See, this is my cell and this is my table. You can see this table has the header, or you can say title for each and every column. Also, you can assign the title to row. It is optional that you decide, right? You can assign the title to row, but these are not highlighted, means you can see this column number 1, 2, 3, 4 is here, and row number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, right? That is here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 5. Fifth one is just below it. Yeah. So that is there, and then we have this. So Smith has this age and height and weight and blood pressure like that. OK, so this is the table variable. So remember this difference in the array, cell and table. So this table, let me type help of this table. You can practice for it because MATLAB is very easy software to learn. Everything is inside it, right? There are so many variants for it, but we are happy with the basic variants. You can see it's a very long help. Even to read it, we require 5 minutes, but let we take whatever we require. So in a help, it is written what? Let we understand. So tables are used to collect heterogeneous data, not homogeneous data, and metadata into a single container. I want answer from you. What is metadata? You might have heard this word. This is very common in data science. You are learning this subject probability statistics for data science, right? So you all need to convergence about these words. This data science is a very emerging field, you all know, right? And our subject is part of it. Particularly we handling financial data. Yeah, I need now answer something from you.
It contains ordering.
Meta, what is meaning of meta? Meta is very general word, not related to any computer science or data science. It's very general word.
Description of the data. Metadata is the description about the data that we have.
Which type of data? Metadata is term related to which kind of data? It's very common word now. It's related to big data. Big data, what is meaning of big data then? Anybody? Yeah, your answer is partially correct. Description of data and ordering and all that. Yeah, it's okay. What's the meaning of big data?
A large volume of data, like a lot of different types of data, a large volume of data.
Right. Different types and varying volume and huge volume. Okay. So heterogeneous, it means different type, not homogeneous, means some are integers, some are characters like that. Okay. Some may be date vector in our financial, some are amount, okay, return, percentage. So these are heterogeneous data and very big data. So if you say moving stock price, so if you collect 20 years stock price, it's a huge data. Okay. And if you take a opening price, closing price, day high, day low, it even becomes a very huge data. Okay. And we need it to be arranged in the tables or in a single container. So this facilitates us. Okay. So tables are suitable for storing column oriented or tabular data that are often stored as columns in a text file or in a spreadsheet. So we want to handle in a technical software. So we have to handle the data like in a spreadsheet. So that's why we need this kind of facility here. Otherwise, we are not accountant or clerk. So tables can accommodate variables of different types, size, units, etc. Now this is very important that I have explained. They are often used to store experimental data with rows representing different observation and column representing different measured variables. And that's what in our financial system is, right? Rows represent the different observation and columns represent the different measured variable. Okay. So use the table constructor. So table is basically not a data type. It's a constructor. You get this word from object oriented programming, constructor. To create a table from variables in the MATLAB workspace, and use read table function to create a table by reading data from a text or spreadsheet file. So here in this example, we have created some synthesized data. We have created some workspace variable like blood pressure and age and height and names, etc. And we have created synthesized one table. But in actual practice, the data is not to be synthesized in MATLAB because in financial world, the data is somewhere on some other website, which may be downloaded in some spreadsheet. So we have to read the table from this spreadsheet and create such table in the MATLAB. Okay, so I hope you understand. So for that, we have a different function called read table. So we have a table function to create a table from the MATLAB variable, and we have a read table function to read the spreadsheet into the table constructor. Table is a constructor. Remember these all terminologies, right? So table constructor can also be used to create tables without providing workspace variable by providing size and variable types. That's all altogether a different thing that we use later on, right? So tables can be subscribed or subscripted using parentheses, much like ordinary numeric arrays, but in addition to numeric and logical indices, you can use a tables variable and row name as indices. You can access individual variable in table much like fields in structure. You recall your concept of structure in C programming or object-oriented programming using dot subscripting, dot convention. Let me use it. You can access the contents of one or more variable using the brace subscripting. So let me use the dot subscripting here. Then brace subscripting we will use later on. So this table I have created, its name is capital T. So if I type T dot age, can anybody tell me what it will return? This is now recalling from all your object-oriented programming, C programming. It's now practical application. So it returns only this age column. So whatever in this age column in this table T is accessed by this T dot age. So that is the dot convention. So actually table is one kind of constructor, right? And you can treat it as a structure where T is a structure and its member is age, which you can access like this. Okay, so all these terms now converging to you. I hope this is clear. Let me go to second thing that I will illustrate using example. I am moving a little bit faster because so many things we have to cover in this subject, but we have little time. This is very wide thing, but I have to start with fundamental, otherwise you find it difficult. Now see, write named text and numeric data to an Excel file. Let me now write something from our cell variable to the Excel file. Later on we'll write table into the Excel file. Okay, you will use the table into Excel file. Then we read table from the Excel file. So let me say the name of this Excel file is testdata.xlsx. You all know the extension of the XLSX. Okay, and we can write it at particular cell. So it should be starting at cell E1 and inside that in sheet 2. So my goal is to write something in this file beginning at this E1 end of sheet 2. So for that we use this function called XLSWrite. Write to the Excel file. So I have to provide a file name. So I store this file name in this file name variable. I need to provide what I am writing, say in a cell, say A. This is just an example. in which seat number, say seat number 2. Okay, and from which range. So Excel range, this specified the beginning cell, say E1, okay, in a single quote. So all this you can find in a help of this XLS write. Let me first run this example and then we see the help of this XLS write. I'm taking all the functions one by one. Then we go to the write table. Right now we are writing from the cell array to the Excel file. OK, first example we have seen a creation of the cell array. Second example we have seen a creation of table array or table constructor, we can say. Now third example, what we see, how to write a cell data into the Excel file. OK, so let I go to my MATLAB online. Before that, let I check whether this kind of file is there. No, there is no Excel file in that. So let I type this and I run it. Okay, is there any issue? Because I'm running online and unable to write to Excel format, attempted to write a file to CSV format. Okay, an error occurred while writing. Convert your data to a table, then use write table. So right now in MATLAB online, this direct is not supported. If it is offline, it will support it. So remember, we have to convert this cell data into table data. So if you have a cell data in a MATLAB online, it is not supporting right now. But if it is an offline installed version of MATLAB, it directly supports. So that difference we have to bear because we are working online. If we have an offline version of MATLAB, which I have in my laptop, then this will be supported. That's why I have checked whether it is working or not. Let me skip this, but we can learn this by example. Say help XLS write means we can directly write this cell data into Excel file. And this is the example. You can see this D is what I have taken is this, and then it is writing it to this file. OK, it is writing it to the file. So this you can just study at the help level later on when you have the offline installed MATLAB, we can directly use it. And we usually not need this because we need not to write directly the cell data into Excel. We usually write the table data into MATLAB. We always handle the tables in MATLAB and then we write the table data into MATLAB. So let me bear with this limitation. And now we go with this. Let me write table data into spreadsheet and let me check whether it will work with MATLAB online. I have created one table and see these are the content of the table and name of the table is T and I'm using the function write table. OK, I'm writing into file mydata.xls. Sheet number is 2, right? These are all the properties which format you can find in the help of this function write table, and range is B2 to F6. So whatever I have to write, it is in this range. Yeah, so this table is created. You can see this capital T 3x4 table, and now this table is changed inside this window also, right, where we are visualizing this variable. It is not labeled. Any label is not given, so it has assigned a default label variable 1, variable 2, variable 3, like OK, and variable 4 still it is loading. OK, so that name if we have not given, like in previous example, we have given the labels to the columns. You can refer to my previous example, which I have taken here, where this. Just I go to, yes, this was my label, age, height, weight, blood pressure. Here we have created this separately and then we have just assigned these labels. In this example, I have written directly the values. I have not assigned the labels. You can do the same thing that we have done previously. Now it will create one Excel file which is named my data. Let me check. Yes, see in this MATLAB drive, it is created my data. Where it is? Yes, my data.xls, and we can open it using Excel utility. Let I check whether it will open or not. Yes, see, this is the Excel file. This is open here. OK, so whatever I have created in table, This is inside the MATLAB, this T, and I have written into one file. So I have this record available. So I hope you understood this. And if we go into detail of this help write table function, then we got a detail help. I leave it to you because you have to do yourself so much of work because this is an interdisciplinary subject and so many things we have to learn in a short time, but it is not that difficult. We have to apply the knowledge. It's an application oriented subject. Yeah. So write a table to a file. So you simply write table capital T is the one of the variant. You can specify the file name. This is a second variant that what we have used. Then there are third and fourth variant. You can write in a text file. You can write in Excel file, right? You can specify the file type here, right? So you can write in a some XML file, right? XML is also very frequently used, right? So this all the facilities available. We usually prefer XLS file, right? Or CSV file. What is CSV? Anybody can tell me CSV? You all are convergent with all these things in your data science subject which you are learning. What is CSV file?
Comma separated values.
Comma separated values. What is difference in Excel and CSV? These are very fundamental questions asked in interview. What is difference in the CSV and Excel file? I leave it to you to search. You can easily Google it. OK. Not an issue, but then there are so many properties which you can specify, right? You have so many properties which you can specify. So whenever we need, we go to the help of this function, right? And we use this property. And here, which extensions are recognized that are mentioned, we usually use .xlsx, right? Then any other thing that we need right now, we skip. OK, range. Yes, we have used this range property. OK. So that we have used. Also, we have used this seat property, seat number. Which seat number? You know there are different sets in one Excel file. OK. Then if you are using XML file, you can also go with this help, but it's slightly difficult to handle XML file. Right now we are not doing it. OK. So this is complete help of it. You can see the power of MATLAB. It can handle any kind of thing. OK. Now let me go to the next thing that we need to learn. You can read a specific range of data from the Excel file, right? In the previous example. So if you have some Excel file stored in your computer, you can read from anything from that Excel file, either whole Excel file or a seat number you specify, range you specify, and from that you can read. So that I skip. It is just a complementary function for XLS write. There is an XLS read. You can use it. We are interested in table, so I go to now this. So I create another table T here and then I write it. So there is one file patient.xls which is internal to the MATLAB. This patient.xls file is available, and from that I will read from cell number C2 to E6, right, in a range. So I have specified the range property C2 to E6. From this file I am reading in a table variable T, and read variable name is false. So I'm not reading variable names, means column names I am not reading. So that you can neglect right now. This is another property, read variable names false. Means I'm not reading table column names. If you don't write anything, by default it will be read. We see that also. So let I type this. This patient.xls in an internal file of the MATLAB. It is available with the MATLAB, and you can see in a T now this is, and definitely here this T will change. Yes, this capital T is changed, 5x3 table, and we have not specified to read the column names. That's why it has read variable 1, variable 2, variable 3. And you can see this is variable 1, 3843. This variable 2, you can see it's a cell, right? Because it reads the name of the hospitals. OK, and then variable 3. Let I type the same thing without this third property. Let we see. It takes some time because we are running online on cloud. All right, so you can see, but this file itself not contain the variable name. Inside this file itself, there is no variable name, so it is not reading the variable name. If your file has variable name, it will read it. So you can try this with your Excel file, give the name to the columns, okay, and try to read it. Okay, this exercise you can do. These are very small things that you can do at present. Then the save and load function, as I mentioned, you can save the MATLAB data, which are vector or scalar, into the MAT file. MAT is a matrix file, MATLAB file, right? It is not Excel file. It can be open only in MATLAB. So here, let me create P equal to some random values of size 1 to 10, of size 1 cross 10, and ones of 10. So we create one vector of 1 of size 10, okay, and then save it in some file pqfile.mat. So this is name of file and extension is .mat. So .mat is only file which is read only by MATLAB. It is a matrix file, MATLAB file. And which variable we need to write into this file, that we have to specify here, P and Q. If we confuse, we can type help save. We can say, because I am running out of time, so I am taking it quickly. You can say, yes. Now say, this has created this variable P and Q in workspace. Yes, I can type P. Yes, that is there. So it is a random number. And see, it is 1 cross 10. So 1 row and 10 columns, any random number, right? Then Q, it is vector of ones, right? Of 10 cross 10 size, you can see. And that I have saved into which file? pqfile.mat. So there is a pqfile.mat created in the drive. And you can see this is the file pqfile.mat. If you click on it, double click on it, it will get opened. It takes some time, but it will get open. So your data is safe. Now if I delete this pq, how? Clear P. So from workspace it get deleted. Now see, it is deleted. Clear Q. Clear Q. So from workspace it get deleted. Now if I type P, it will be unrecognized. No, yeah, it is unrecognized. Q, unrecognized. So my data is now not in workspace, but I have saved it in a MAT file. So you use this MAT file for intermediate saving in MATLAB only. Finally, after completing your all tasks, you can save it into Excel. So don't go every time to Excel. OK, that's the advice. Otherwise, you can do it, but it will create a lot of problem. So always use the MATLAB files for intermediate saving. OK, and now if I want to retrieve this, what should I type? I should type like this, load, then whatever be the file name .mat, and then in single quote the name of the variable to be loaded. So I have to type pq file .mat, then single quote name of the variables were P and Q. OK. There is issue. PD file I have written. OK, it should be PQ file. So be care, because in a hurry we always make a mistake in typing. Now it get executed. Now if I type P, I retrieved P and I retrieved Q. All right. So this is then intermediate kind of things that you can use. This what small things we need to use. OK. So this all about only basic MATLAB functionality that we are going to use in this subject. I want to cover the financial toolbox, but today I will cover only the features of it, and I will take one more session on we have lecture on Tuesday, na? OK, so I will take one more session with this MATLAB on Tuesday, so we can cover more with the financial toolbox, date utility and other things. So we have to learn the utilities provided by the financial toolbox. So for that, you go to the MATLAB home tab, and inside that there is a help and documentation, and you will find the documents for all the toolboxes, right? You find documents for all the toolboxes, and in that you will find the financial toolbox. You may not find here right now data science inside that. Is there? No. But you just try it in offline installation, you may find, right? Right now I am not finding, but in offline installation you will able to find it. Okay, so we have this financial toolbox available in the MATLAB. So in detail of this, what this financial toolbox can do, you can perform date math and calendar math, cash flow analysis, then basic fixed income analysis, portfolio optimization that we are learning in the next week, risk analysis, we learned very basic of it, time series modeling that is in a unit 2, regression, estimation with missing data, technical indicator and financial chart that we learned in the 3rd unit, option pricing that we learned in the 4th unit, Monte Carlo simulation of SDE. What is SDE? Stochastic differential equation that we touch in a very brief because it itself is a very big thing. Okay, so that all are facilities available in a financial toolbox. Actually, it's all are parts of the data science. Okay, so we touch briefly, and next time we see date formats, different date formats supported in this MATLAB. And we have one basic function date that I forgot to tell you. So let me also check it once what this function is doing. You can see if you type simply date, it will return the today's date in a string 13 August 2021. Now next time we will see how to handle these dates when it is stored in a MATLAB, Excel, read into MATLAB, and then it will create certain problems. So how to solve that problem and how to handle the dates, okay, and calendar. So that we see on the lecture on Tuesday. We continue with the MATLAB session in the lecture also because today we have no time. I hope you understood this and you enjoyed this capability of MATLAB. Okay. If you have any doubt, you can just tell me. Otherwise, I unshare my screen first. Stop recording. Yes.